Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be planting the Summer Royal Seedless Grapevine. I do have my own vineyard, and we'll take a look at it. I have a champagne wine that needs to be planted as well. Here is where the Cowart Muscadine perished, apparently, and it will be replaced. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be removing Cowart Muscadine grapevine. It appears to have root rot or it died. I don't know what the deal is with it, but it totally disconnected from its roots. I'm going to remove it and replace it with the Royal Somerset, so I'm going to have to drag that container all the way over here and plant it. I will be removing some weeds around it as well, and hopefully it'll do better and it'll replace it. I don't know, it was a Cowart Muscadine. It never really gave fruit. It's tends to be a zone 9 grapevine plant, but it hasn't bared any fruit. So I'm going to replace it with another better seedless grape variety. Yes, it is official. I am the father of my own vineyard, and this is quite an accomplishment. These aren't the only grapevines I'm growing here. I have others growing in containers. I tend to grow wine grapes and other juicing grapes, even for canning and preserving as well. They're gone dormant this season. I've interplanted them with tomatoes because since they're dormant, it's a waste of space. I do have the wires up for them. So that's what I'm going to go with. I don't know if they're companion plants or not, but that's what I'm going to do. They're companion plants now. So here you can see my Cowart Muscadine, which has not gone fully deciduous. That is dormant. This one died completely. It got some root rot. I don't know how that happened. Muscadines are good for the south given the humidity and heavy rains, but this one did not do well. Fret not, I do have another grapevine, Muscadine Cowart, growing in a container, and they do grow very well in containers. Here I'm trying to demonstrate that it's dead, and you can see no growth. It totally disconnected. I think it got root rot, and I haven't even been watering it that much. So I don't know how that happened, but it's gotta go. And I'm replacing it with a Summer Royal, so I think it'll do well. You can see my tomato plants. They're doing very well. It's winter now, so I want to take advantage of the season. Believe me when I tell you, do not drag a container after it rained, and that's exactly what happened last night. The soil compacted, and this container is now 3 times as heavier as usual. So you do see me struggling with it. I am not that weak for future reference. Big. It's grown out really well this year. It's gone deciduous, gone dormant. At least mostly it's starting to leak. It's leaked out a bit in the ends here. But it is ginormous. It's gonna go right there. I guess it is in my nature and DNA to grow my own vineyard and take care of it. And that has been a dream of mine, even to have grapes growing. I mean, this comes in memory of me being in Europe for some time and always seeing the nice vineyards. I don't know what happened to those vineyards. I just see them removed for sad reasons, but they are very nice and pleasant to look at. I don't particularly drink wine. I do like growing Chardonnay and other great varieties that I do enjoy and to share with others. So that is what I'm going to do and see how well this goes. Right here I'm removing the emitter. This is the irrigation emitter. I don't really need it because it rains so much. As you can see here, it got root rot. I honestly don't know what happened here. Looks like root rot or something. Totally came off. Not even alive. Don't worry, it's not my only one. There's another muscadine right there. So what I'm doing here is pushing out the topsoil, preserving some of that mulch. I am digging a hole to put the new vine in. I'm digging out some of the old roots because I do know this is a problem area. I will plant this vine a little bit higher than usual. Hopefully it turns out well. I will be posting other videos showing what type of grapevines I'm growing and which ones work, which ones have fruited and whatnot. So this is kind of an experiment, and hopefully this video ages well, and let's see how well I do. I do know it looks kind of silly planting tomato plants right next to my vines, but they are now going to be companions together. Let me know in the comments what you think about this strategy, if it's good, if it's bad, or am I just robbing soil and nutrients away from my vines for my tomato grapes. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are. I do grow grapevines in containers and in planters. They do exceptionally well in more controlled conditions. I know this is not optimal, but I'll show another video how I'm able to do this. Here I'm using this tomato cage to hold it upright. I'm going to free it by removing and cutting the old tendrils. I do know I can make my life easier and just prune it off. These branches, they do need it pruned anyways, but I'm not going to do that now. I want to wait later on in the season that when I go around to prune them and spray them that they'll be ready. So here I'm trying to preserve as much as the grapevine as I possibly can, and I'm just removing the tendrils from the tomato cage to free up the main canes. I know I cannot stress this enough, but always wear gloves when you're dealing with soil. Do not have direct skin contact with any soil whatsoever. I don't care how clean they advertise it to be, or you see other gardeners, even on YouTube, doing it. Don't do it, you will regret it. And especially don't touch your face if you touch the soil. And if you do touch the soil, wash it off immediately. There's a lot of diseases, ringworm, and other things you do not want to have on your skin. It will be a problem later down the road. So trust me when I say always wear gloves. It is something I cannot stress enough, especially here in Florida in the tropics. So very important to always wear gloves. And don't touch your face either. I don't care if you get itchy, your hair falls on your face. For you ladies, just don't do it. As you can see here, I do struggle pulling this out. It is well rooted into the container, and I did think I put a little bit too much rocks in the bottom of this, and the roots wrapped around all the rocks. It rained, so the soil is really compacted, and I didn't want to risk breaking more of the root system than I had to already. And yeah, it was forming a root ball, which was actually impressive because that has been only one growing season in this container, and it grew rapidly. Normally I tend to order my grapevines, as in this case, as bare roots, and normally the first season they don't do too well as they focus on getting a good root system, but this one formed really good roots and grew outward fairly well. So I am actually having difficulty pulling this one out without damaging it. Altogether, at the end, I had to loosen the soil around the roots and just pull out the whole plant that way from its roots. So I had to shake off the soil. That was the best approach to this method, and it ended up working relatively well without stressing the plant. It is also dormant, so that did help, and that was a positive there.
As you can see here, I am trying to pull out the roots. I'm shaking off the soil actually to break off the roots a bit from the soil and detach it from the planter. It does work out. At the end, you can see how massive this root system is, and this is just from one growing season. So I'm fairly impressed with this, and I'm trying to maintain it intact. So I'm pretty much making sure I don't have a root bulb forming and that the roots spread out properly and they don't circle in onto themselves, because that would end up hurting the vine and taking it. So that would be very down. I'm trying to also put it a little bit higher than soil level and keep it a little bit of a mound. If I did suffer root rot in this location, then it's probably prone to not well drainage. So I kind of want to keep the roots up off the ground, at least a few inches off, and have it spread downwards. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm forming a little mound for it. I do know that this is all experimental, as grapevines don't typically grow in South Florida given the heat and humidity. So let's see how well I do and follow along. I water it in so there's no air pockets. Guys, I know at this point I'm not doing organic gardening, as the mulch I'm using here is a red dyed colored mulch. It does not have any adverse effects on the plant or its ability to fruit. It does acidify the soil. I know I should use more organic mulch, but this was the only thing I had at hand. Alternatives are pine nuggets. They work very well.
This part should be easier to twist the line.
All I'm doing here essentially is tying this up. Off the ground is the best approach. I do need to prune it, so I'm just going to hook it up to the top wire and make a decision on what type of style I want here and what form this grapevine is going to take. But at the moment, I just want this done, and I'm very busy today, so that's what I'm going with.
Well, this concludes it for today's video. As you can see, I successfully planted a Summer Royal grapevine. It was even growing in the container in a part shaded area and grew massive. The canes are healthy, the roots are healthy. I do need to prune it though. I'm going to wait till later in winter to do it. It'll be another video. But I hope this video encourages you, inspires you to do your own little small vineyard and grow your own grapes. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.